So my name is Nikki Carlisle. I am an 8th grade math teacher at Lincolnstown Middle School and also the coach for our PBIS team.
Hi, I'm Mary Ann Troutman. I'm a 7th grade reading teacher at LMS.
I'm Will Driscoll. I teach health and physical education at Lincolnstown Middle School.
I'm Troy Smith, and I teach 6th grade science at Lincolnstown Middle School. And I've been one of the founding members of our PBIS team for however many years we've been doing it now.
Founding. So we decided to come out here and present today because when we were asked to start PBIS in our middle school setting, we did not have a lot of examples to go off of. A lot of us came to the conference last year, and we didn't hear some from a lot of elementary schools and a lot of high schools, but the whole concept of middle school, if you teach middle school, you understand. It is not elementary, it is not high school, it's middle school. So we really wanted to take what we've learned so far in creating a really great culture through PBIS and kind of sharing that with you guys. And hopefully if you take just one thing or two things away, that's just our goal of our presentation. So again, we have a lot of different topics to cover with you guys. We have our team reward system, which was kind of where we started thinking about, hey, we could share this with people. But we also realized that we do a lot more for our culture. So we have SEL programs, we hold raffles, we hold school-wide events. We want to talk to you guys about fundraisers because none of that is for free. And we know middle schoolers can be very high cost and high maintenance. So we need to find money somehow. So again, like I said, we got a lot of stuff to cover. It started off as something really small, and it kept growing the more we wanted to talk about things. Okay, so just a little bit about our school. We have about 805 students and roughly over 250 per grade. 48% of our students are on free and reduced lunch program. We have 80 staff members between teachers, secretaries, even our custodians and everybody in the building to help us out. And let me see, hold on, one other thing. Oh, the other thing I want to talk to you about is our high hitters. So as a middle school, typically our 3 biggest behaviors that we see that we like to try to curb are defiance, disruption, and inappropriate language, because again, middle schoolers, why not? So that's typically like our heavy hitters, and a lot of times when we look at our monthly data, that's what we're always trying to encourage improvement in. Our Rams Pride is what we use. We go for respect, accountability, making good choices, and staying safe because we are Central Dauphin Rams. And we utilize the PBIS Rewards app. So we did want to kind of talk about this because it does have some great features that we absolutely love, and then it does have some drawbacks. So obviously the nice thing is it's completely online and paperless. And there's a bunch of us that worked in elementary school, and we dealt with the paper tickets. And that causes a little post-traumatic disorder from us because paper tickets everywhere is just very, very hard to deal with. So we opted to try out the app. We love it in terms of it's easy to reward kids. It's easy to set up our school store. It's easy to run raffles. It's easy to do a lot of our events. The only downside that we found is, we'll reward the students, but because it's not physical, they don't know. And so our biggest issues with that is, a kid saying, I don't even know how many points I have. When was the last time I earned points? So just making sure that we're always very, very purposeful in saying, hey, you did a great job. I'm putting points in right now. Do you see this? Do you see this? And you have to be really obvious with them because they'll still kind of space out and forget. So that is, our take on it. Like I said, some schools love it, some schools hate it. We did ask our staff if they wanted to go to paper last year, and no, they did not want to go back to paper. So we're going to keep with our app. Like I said, we do like a lot of its benefits. All right. And then the other part, too, is what we want you to understand about our school is we were asked to start PBIS the year before COVID. So we had that whole year before COVID to plan and plan and plan. And the year that we were supposed to be implemented was the year after the 2020 shutdown. And they were like, no, still go with it. They were like, oh, but we're hybrid. No, still go with it. So our start was not as smooth as we would like to hope it would be, especially with having our school being completely hybrid, some there, some not. It was very stressful for our teachers, and we're saying, hey, we're also doing PBIS on top of all of this. But I feel like as a team, we've really grown and gotten better. What we found and what we started with was those basic stores, like, here's your points, here you can shop at this store. 6th graders loved it. 7th graders were okay with it. 8th graders, unless it was food, no. They only want food. And they want other things, but mostly food. So we decided to think of what are some other ways that we can get these kids involved. And we found that our 8th graders had the best time whenever we would do things, assemblies, events. We'll talk a little bit about all those things that we did. And so one of the things we realized was well, if 8th graders are gonna work for free time, if they're gonna work for activities, let's go ahead and implement that. So let's talk about our team rewards.
Okay, just one thing about the PBIS app. It does make a specific notification ding when you give points. So if you have your phone volume up and you're using your phone to give the points, the kids know that some points were just awarded. So that helps a little bit with them knowing when they're being rewarded and when they're maybe to check to see why they got some points or ask why they got some points, or hopefully the teacher, even myself, told them why they got their points. So team rewards is what I'm going to talk about. So our school is divided into 3 grade levels, 6, 7, 8, and each grade level has 2 teams. So for a team reward, each team is able to choose whatever events that they would like to do. And that is put out through the app to the students. You can set your student limits. You can set how many points you want to have the students pay to participate. And it kind of turns into, like they try to get there fast because if there's something they really want to do, they will fill up and then they'll miss out on that one. We also try to hit everybody's interests, so we do some outdoor activities when it's nice out. We'll have some quieter activities like crafts. Even when it's really cold out, they still like to go outside. We do have, ironically, an elementary school like right next door, and they have a playground. One of the biggest things they like to do is go to that playground and play on the playground. So we take like 50 kids over there, and even if it's like February and it's 32 degrees, they want to go to the playground and play on the playground. So the teachers, they get to decide ultimately what activities they want to do. Like Nikki was saying, if you add food to any activity, you will fill up first. So if you even just say a bag of popcorn, ice cream sandwiches are huge, whatever food you add, you will fill up immediately. But the students can go on to the app. They have their own accounts, and they can choose to buy that. Sometimes we have to get the kids to sign up for it. We sign the kids up because they're not allowed to use phones in our school anymore. So that sometimes becomes a little bit of an issue, but it really takes a couple minutes. And there is a place for students who choose not to participate to just go and do their normal, we call it academic enrichment. It's kind of like a study hall. So we have kind of everybody covered. So there's no just stragglers around or anything like that. Here's some of the activities. I did mention a few of them. Kickball is always one that a lot of the kids like to do because it reminds them of recess when they were kids, they like to say. Again, the arts and crafts actually come in pretty handy. Cookie decorating or treat making. One of the teams we just had a team reward on Monday. It was, I think, their daughter's birthday, so they made a bunch of cupcakes, brought some extras in, and then the kids decorated and got to eat their cupcakes. So that one obviously filled up really fast. Even card games and board games, and then we always throw in our Chromebooks so they can play computer games during those times. Some of the kids like to just go to reading time. I think we had like a meditation one somebody signed up for, and like 12 kids went to it. I was impressed. The movies are tough. It's only about 40 minutes of time that we get. So if they sign up for a movie, it's got to be something short. Spookly, the pumpkin guy. Have you ever seen that? We watched that on Monday in one of our classes. So it actually had a great message, and they served popcorn, so everybody went to that one. Dude Perfect mini challenges. If you watch that little video clip, we did that one. The kids really had a good time with that. I'm going to probably extend that one to a larger amount. That was the finale. Just popping balloons. People walking by heard balloons popping. They were running for cover. It was great. So the more chaos you can create, the more middle school kids like that. And other minute-to-win-it games, we've done like the cookie on your face, whatever you can do to kind of make yourself vulnerable. They love that kind of thing, and they love to dance. Like last year, the kids were like super into dance parties. I can't tell you how many dance parties I hosted in my room, which Ashley here knows that that's not something I would normally do, but I have had lots of dance parties for some reason, but they really enjoy that. And like I said, the more vulnerable you can be, the more they are willing to buy into the system.
So for school-wide rewards, this is kind of stuff that we have done that are held really beginning of the beginning of the school year. We get started with a pep rally, and then we also end the year with a pep rally. So we have like this lower fields that's kind of surrounded by a hill. And so we kind of set the kids up there. And again, we've done a lot of trial and error with this, and I think we kind of have a good pattern now with a lot of our outdoor events of having some things that are structured, and then followed by some free time or leisure time where there's not really any sign up. They can, if they want to go play football, they go here. Soccer's down here. If they want to paint our driveway with chalk, they can do that. They can dance, really just hang out. Yeah, it's kind of organized chaos, but we love it. So our pep rallies, again, we've done tug of war events. We've done kind of stack the buckets in a pyramid and then try to get it all down. Again, trying to get things that people, the school can see. We also try to involve as many students as we can with the rewards. So they do have raffles to sign up for different events. I know last spring we did kind of kickball, and it ended up being one of those days where it was like 90 degrees out, and the kids were there watching like us faculty members play kickball against some of the kids for like an entirely too long of time. And so the interest level was just gone. And so we've kind of, again, worked out those kinks a little bit this year with, hey, let's do something quick, tug of war, bucket stack, and then free time. And I think we kind of got that from the turkey trot. So the turkey trot is, again, middle of the second marking period here. And we do that on the Friday before Thanksgiving. And they all kind of sign up. The first 20, 30 minutes is them either walking or jogging basically around the perimeter of our school. And then there's a couple kids that are kind of psycho that will sign up for like the, what do we even call it? The marathon run. It's like, and they try to get as many laps as they possibly can. And so we will have kids that are like drenched in sweat on like a 45-degree day. And they're like, I did 12 laps. And we're like, that's like 5 miles, great. Like, and so sometimes we'll lose track because like I said, we do that for 25, 30 minutes and then we kind of have free time. And I know last year, we're all just hanging out, it's free time, it's almost the end of the day. And this kid comes up to me, again, drenched with sweat, and he's like, when does the marathon end? I'm like, buddy, it's ended. Like, we're just hanging out here. So, they love it, and it's a good time where they are just able to kind of be kids. I mean, I think middle school, they go from elementary school where there's recess, there's time for them to unwind and learn how to play alongside people without like getting in fights. And then we close them off. Like we have like the prison walls here in middle school where like they don't get outside often to do just free time. And so I know the first time we did it, it was a little like, are there going to be fights? Are people going to be like, if you give them free time, most of the time it's inviting trouble, but they've really done a good job with it, and that's been a good part of our school. Now, Troy said something about kids dancing in his classroom. Well, our third marking period school reward, believe it or not, is a square dancing hoedown showdown. And so, of course, we kind of work with phys ed staff, which is me and a couple other teachers. We do teach square dancing. We do it to upbeat songs. We do it in a good way where it's kind of fun for them. But it's really just learning some social skills on how to treat each other. And, we talk to them about how, like, hey, you might not like your partner, but you have to treat them with respect. Whether you know them, don't like them, or don't know them, got to treat them with respect and do the things. And so the kids do a good job with it. By the end of it, we have this big day where we put them in groups where they're kind of all friends together, and we ask them to, hey, make a theme. You know, everyone's wearing jerseys. Like, we're all going to wear black and shirts and jeans, or you know, a lot of people do the cowboy hat thing and stuff. It also goes along with right along time of the farm show. And so they're kind of, you know, I'm like, hey, go see the square dancing. But if you've ever been to the farm show square dancing, it's like nothing like I teach. I'm like, you know, do-si-do, and everybody circle around, but they're saying all these weird stuff. I'm like, this isn't square dancing. So I think I'm right and they're wrong. So yeah, we do kickball, and again, at the end of the year, we do another pep rally type of thing. This year, to begin the year, that's a photo of this year, but we had them separated 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and we kind of wanted to get everybody involved, and not just, hey, these 5 students from each grade. And so we did kind of like we started with a chant. And so if you've ever been to a Central Dauphin event, our chant is pretty simple. It's Central Dauphin, and then they clap. So we had them do that. We were like, all right, 6th grade, you're going to learn this chant. So if you go to a football game, basketball game, what have you, you kind of know what you're doing. So we had them do that, and we picked the loudest. We did a dance competition, so we did like YMCA songs and stuff that's kind of easy dance along to it. So just trying to get all the kids included in the school culture. Okay.
Thanks. Some other successful ways that we reward the students, especially with the use of their points, is raffles. And a lot of times what started happening was we were getting these donations. We would ask for like certain things on Amazon for our school store, and then parents were like, well, hey, I have this brand new, like, I don't know, Star Wars blanket. Can you use it? Or you know, I have these, oh my gosh, what was the one thing? I'll be honest, the biggest thing last year, it was the Wii. And someone had said, hey, I have this in the box, never used Wii, can you use it? And we're like, yeah, we'll take your Wii. And so we decided to make it a raffle. And we had so many students who could care less about their points. And all of a sudden, we're seeing like their behaviors turn completely around, and they're kind of like hinting at they want these points. And I'm like, you know, this is great. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they've turned a page in their book. They're in a new leaf. They're like growing, they're maturing, and I'm like handing in all these points. And then the one kid goes, well, Mrs. Carlisle, we want the Wii. And I'm like, the Wii? And then they're like, yeah, the raffle, that we want the Wii. And I'm like, oh. And so, because they could buy so many entries to earn this Wii. Well, so, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I have a meeting in 15 minutes, but I'm going to skip that for you guys. I mean, it was a tough call. Math department meeting, come to this presentation. I'm going to pick you guys. All right. Anyway, so oh my gosh, what am I talking about? So anyway, it was like it was January, thank you. January is the greatest month because the kids all just wanted to work for this Wii. So one lucky kid walked away with a brand new Nintendo Wii, and the rest of the kids were a little bit angry, but I'll be honest, it's kind of a nice period of time, okay? Now, always have those nicer things. So typically, like I said, we have drawstring bags, we have t-shirts, we have blankets, we get like fancy speakers, things like that, that we either ask for or we randomly get donated, and then we hold a once a month raffle. We also use gift cards. That's another big one that we like to use. Other things that we do, Will had talked about the pep rally. One of the biggest raffles that we start off at the very beginning of the year is a chance to pie a teacher in the face. And that is also a very, very high purchase thing. We make it the cost really low because it's the beginning of the year. They don't have a lot of points, but like that's the first thing they want to work for is a chance to pie a teacher in the face. So you can see that is a picture of our principal down there with lots of whipped cream all over his face. But he loves it, and every year he's like, sign me up to get pied in the face. So that's also another thing we'll do. We also have staff and student competitions that they can sign up for, but a lot of times we'll start to raffle those off if we know it's going to be super popular and it's going to fill up fast. So in the spirit of raffling, we asked a lot of you guys to fill out a raffle ticket for us.
Okay, the first one is Jeff Trinnell. Great.
And there are 7 bags up here. Feel free to pick them up and test them out. They are mystery bags, and we do this with the students. Some of them weigh a little bit more than others. Some of them, try not to peek in, though. You'll ruin the surprise. You never know what you just might get.
All right, Amy Fleck. Let's see what you got. Wait, you have to show us. Danielle earners? Earners? Yes. Ashley Olson. Jamie B.
That's me.
Kathy G. And Eric Draco?
I think it's going to be Troy next. All right. So Troy's going to talk to us about our school store for those students who like to just make sure that they get something when they're going to spend their points.
I mean, like most of us, money burns holes in our pockets, so do points in students' pockets. So we started the school store 3 years ago, and originally we had, I mean, we've morphed our school store greatly, and I'll get to where we're at with it now. But we started with like a cart that we would set up during one period a day, like our academic enrichment period, and the kids could come out one homeroom at a time, and they could purchase little, like, honestly, it was junk, but they loved it. Squishies were like huge. There was only a small, like a little bit of candy items because that would have, we didn't want to ruin everybody's lunch. But it did not take much. We would get donations, and we would have tons of these little trinkets that they just love to get. Fidgets, all different kinds of fidgets. And the sixth grade, I should back up and say, the sixth grade students loved all this junk. And they bought it, like they spent all their points, like every single week they would get points and they would completely drain out their account. And this was before we had all the other things to spend money on, so it was kind of okay. It didn't really hurt them in the long run. However, the 7th grade and the 8th grade students were not as interested in the trinkets and things like that, so the store wasn't kind of working for them, especially during the time that they had. It was at the end of the day for them, and a lot of them were involved in other things and missing out on the store. So the store wasn't working well for the older kids. So then we traded to a school store during lunches where they could go up and try to, kind of buy the same kind of things, but we did offer more food items. Takis they were very popular last year, but not so much this year, which I don't think is a bad thing, but that's okay. And now we've actually changed our school store to pre-purchased ordering. So now they can go onto their PBIS app and they can order. We usually put one food item and one like trinket item on, and they can go and pre-order it. And then at lunch they can go up to a table. We only need one staff member then. Everything's already there that's been pre-ordered. They just check their name and they hand it out. So it kind of works really smooth. And like I said, there's always one food item and then one kind of like trinket item. So everybody can kind of get something if they want to. But the school store hasn't been quite as popular as it used to be because now there are many opportunities for the points, whereas that used to be the only option for the points.
Also, with the points, the events, if it's something really, really good, they save their points. So it could be like, I made dirt with my class, or they could set up for us. So that was like 50 or 75 points because so many kids wanted to do it. So it's not just like 5 points, here's some Takis. Or how much are Takis? Like 25? Oh, they're 40. Okay, we'll say like fish or something. It's not, the events cost a lot more money than some of the things that the store do.
But we also encourage individual teachers to have a store in their classroom too, so that each of those teachers can offer, maybe if they have a pencil issue or their kids don't bring pencils, they could sell out on pencils probably every single day. Or they can offer up their own little trinkets, or a lot of kids will pay to eat lunch with you, or if you're willing to do that. They'll pay to, we have a little outdoor section set up where you can, take a group of students outside. They will pay, they love that kind of stuff. You can charge 100 points for that, and they'll figure out how to get 100 points for those. So the store's it's kind of been a work in progress. Like I said, what worked for 6th grade didn't necessarily work for 8th grade. kind of a big gap there. Did you have a question?
Yeah, so we have a school store and we're trying to investigate or think about like ways to put more coupons in our store for experiences rather than, so kids, do you do any of that, like where they could buy a coupon that would earn them free time with friends in like a lounge or something? Like I'm trying to think of it.
Yeah, that's something we would put in our raffle kind of thing, so that they could see that right on the app versus buying like a piece of paper. Like they would be able to just go in and pay for that on the raffle. Then you would just have to work out the details on when and who is going to cover that and things like that. But yeah, that's a great idea. The things that don't cost much sometimes are what they like the most. Like things that just time with, non-structured school time with an adult is something they really enjoy.
No, so we just started something, our 7th grade lunch is a little chaotic. So on the events, they can buy, there's like a special table that's kind of like a chill table. So they can buy points, like all your friends that day could use their points to sit at that table. There's gonna be a game table, so same thing. You get to be away from the chaos and just chill with your friends at a special table, and a good way for them to spend their points.
And I think that's all I have on the store. Marianne, you got anything else? You good? Okay. Go back one more. So I did, at the bottom there, we do have those things like homework passes and things like that. But again, a lot of that goes in our teacher store. So you can be creative if you want.
Okay, do we have a picture of like the actual schedules? So our principal, Mr. Porter, loves schedules. We have, do we know how many schedules we have? We probably have, yeah. Okay, so these are all, some principals might not like schedules as much as he does, but he likes to incorporate fun time for the kids. So with our different schedules, sometimes it's just like our Rams Unite schedule, for example, is at the beginning of the day. It's sort of like an SEL time in your homeroom. So we talk about things like bullying or things that are going on in our school, maybe even like racism. Some refresher lessons. Sometimes it's the, yes. Is there a slide for that? No. Okay. Okay, yeah, sorry. So, and then at the end, so then there are schedules for if there's something at the end of the day. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. You guys do that as like a building-wide assembly, or just
Rams Unite.
in your home? You do like the lesson?
The whole school is doing the same lesson. So teachers,
In your room.
yes, in the homerooms, and then teachers that don't have a homeroom go to support like wherever, other classrooms. So it's just about, how long is it, like 30 minutes this year? And then they go up, like the rest of the day just goes on the same. Their classes are just a couple minutes shorter. So it really doesn't take much time. Some of the other things, when we do have a big event, it will take more time at the end. So our classes are maybe 30 minutes instead of 45. But that's not, very often. And it's usually something really big that the kids really want to really enjoy. Anything else? 2:30, 2:26. Yeah. Yeah, we start at 7:45 is homeroom.
We wouldn't be able to do most of the things that we do without these schedules. And like was meant, our principal, Mr. Porter, by making these schedules, he made it we do so many extra things. We don't miss a lot of, because you get complainers. Well, I'm not missing my class for playing recess. Well, that's okay. So we don't miss any classes. Sometimes they're a little bit shorter. And I'll talk about staff buy-in here in a little bit, but it does get it's a little daunting because they're sometimes in a week you'll have 3 different schedules. But in the end, it's the kids enjoy what they're able to do, and you just throw the schedule up, listen for the bell to ring, and move on. So you just adjust just a tiny little bit in order to do some of the bigger things that we have been able to accomplish in our school.
Yeah, so the last thing on the schedule there, Activity Bell 1, I think that gives us an hour at the end of the day, and Activity Bell Schedule 2 gives us 2 hours at the end of the day, roughly, to plan some of the bigger events that we do, like the Turkey Trot. So I'm going to talk a little bit about SEL. One of my favorite movies is a movie called Miracle. It's about the U.S. Hockey team playing against the Russians back in 1980. And in the movie, before their big game against the Russians, the coach says, "Great moments come from great opportunities." He says a lot better than I do. I've changed that a little bit because my motto for my morning duty is, "Great moments come from not having to do cafeteria duty in the morning." So I've spent 15 years, my first 15 years, I was just clean up syrup and French toast sticks and whatnot. It was miserable. So a couple years ago, I got kind of moved up to the entrance greeters. And I was like, I am not losing this position. And so me and one of my coworkers, Allie, we kind of came up with different themes for each day in the morning. So as the kids are coming into class or coming into the school, we get different ways to greet them. So we have Mondays, we call Mondays at home. If you're like me, you like to annoy the kids as much as you can, kind of. So we have these chairs we bring down from our faculty room. We just kind of pick them up and carry them each day. And we kind of set up this little table with a flower, and we just sit there because then we're sitting down. It's great. Monday morning, you don't want to like stand there and have your back hurt already. So again, welcome home, kids. That's kind of like our motto. So as they're coming in, we say, hey, welcome home. Tuesday mornings, we have Music Tuesdays. That's where we kind of play current music, themed music. So we played Halloween music, lately and things like that. So that's kind of more up to date. Wednesday mornings is kind of like a break day, but the last Wednesday of each month, we do what we call Wednesdays are for the kids. Again, kind of coming from some t-shirts like Saturdays are for the boys kind of thing. So I was like, oh, how can we make this for the kids? So we did Wednesdays for the kids, where we will do different activities as they come in. Many of you guys did the spinner. That's one of the things we do, where they will spin and they either get a prize of like 2 pieces of candy from a bucket that we have, or 1 piece of candy. And then many of you guys know, sometimes you get the jumping jacks, and some of the kids refuse to do it, and we're like, or whatever. But sometimes it's a high five or fist bump and things like that. But it's something that, it just gets them a little bit excited for it. We do a beanbag bag toss, a football throw. We've done in the past. So we'll kind of do things on Wednesdays. Wednesdays are for the kids. Thursdays is Throwback Thursdays, so we play oldies music. Sometimes we will do like old baby TV shows, and they'll come walking in like, oh, I love this song, I used to love the show. And it's kind of funny to see their reactions to some of them. Some of them just give you the side eye of like, what are you doing? But it's great. Oh, yes.
I just wanted to say that the 21st of September fell on a Thursday, and it was the best morning ever.
Yes, we did have a request on that day. So, and then Fridays, kind of what we did at the entrance today, we do Friday fists and fives. And so as they come in, me and Allie, we either fist bump people or high five. And so we get all types of reactions, just like you guys. We were going to do a whole skit on this because it's just funny, because some of you guys are coming in and you got your hands full and you're like, trying to get the fist there. But some people don't want to do that, and that's okay. Some students just walk by, and that's fine. It's no worries. We also blast our school song, which is Bop. That kind of stems from that stems from a lesson on addiction, believe it or not, that I teach my 7th graders, and then I would play it over the loudspeaker back in the day, and now it's just come every Friday. They know Bop. We have different versions of it and stuff. Sometimes we'll mix in Friday by Rebecca Black, which I kind of played towards the end of today, but it just gets them excited. It's like, hey, good job. You got to the end of the week, and high five. Let's celebrate that and have a good weekend. Other things we do throughout the year, we do Spirit Days, and so we have a whole list I'll get to in a second. We also have Rams TV, so we kind of cleaned out an office, old closet, and kind of made that like our little TV studio. So our morning announcements, we will have kids kind of do like a news show, and that's kind of neat for those of them that are interested in, audio and video and that type of thing, or becoming a news anchor. Yeah, it's not YouTube. I think it is kind of close to our school. So teachers have access to it, of course, to run the announcements off of. And sometimes it doesn't work because it's technology. So sometimes you have all those kids coming rushing into the office to do the regular announcements over the voice speaker. Our next slide shows some of the, this was a summer break one. We had kind of a countdown to summer break last year. So we had Switch It Up Day where teachers got to dress like students trying to dress like teachers. That was kind of fun because, you just throw on a hoodie and you just put your hood up the whole time. It's just, But again, a lot of different ideas. And again, going on TikTok, going on Twitter or X, whatever it's called, you can get different ideas from different people, kind of name them what you want, just be unique. But again, all these things are to keep school fun for these kids. So it's not just about the learning. We're really trying to create those connections, create some fun, have some excitement, have someone greet them at the beginning of the day, that type of thing. So those are just some of the things that we've done throughout the last couple years to create that.
So a good segue into staff buy-in is the spirit days. Because yeah, they're for the kids, but are they really? Because we all get to dress down you see how many days that was in a row? We got to dress down at the end of the year. Like the entire month of May, we did not have to dress up, and it was okay. Didn't have to pay any money for it either. So that is one thing we get staff to buy in for, is dress down days. And more, the more we do it, the more people are coming in actually wearing the stuff for that day. We had a Hawaiian day the other day, and I couldn't believe the one teacher had an Hawaiian shirt on. I was kind of blown away. So it's working. We just have to wear them down slowly. So yeah, staff buy-in is, our school looks awesome, right? These pictures, we're up here talking, we're excited about it. It is awesome. But we don't get everybody. You probably know your school. You can think of somebody right now that's probably they're not going to do any of this because they don't want to. They're going to show up, they're going to do their job, they're going to go home. Maybe they're good at it, maybe they're not. But you want to, the facts are, the more you can get, the better off your kids are going to be at your school. If you want that that school culture, it starts with the teachers. Because if your teachers are going to make fools of themselves, like I do on a daily basis, then the kids are going to be, more comfortable. They're going to want to come to school. They're going to want to, maybe learn. They're going to be more likely to learn if they're having fun. But we're hoping for that 80%. If you can get 80% of your staff to buy in, you're doing great. Like I said, we are slowly wearing them down because we just refuse to give up. They keep trying to, call us all kinds of things behind our backs about the PBIS, whatever they want to call us. But that's okay because we're just going to keep going with what we're doing. We do try to incentivize them with gift cards, and we try to take care of duty coverages, and we do have monthly events. We try, if we're going to try to teach them something about one of our biggest things is defiance. So we will not just come right out and show them tell them defiance. We need to learn what that is. We'll try to make a skit or make a video or send them on a scavenger hunt. Just fun ways to try to get them to do things. And you can see the guy sitting on the floor in the bottom picture is our Mr. Sunshine. He is probably not very happy, but he's participating. Just simple things to try to get the staff to kind of open up a little bit and be more willing to just kind of have fun and enjoy what they're doing. So get them to dress down as much as you can, and they'll start to get in.
The other big thing we found this year, and it just kind of happened by accident, is we have now deemed it the golden ticket. And what it is we have 2 dismissals. Because our buses come at 2 different times. We have Group A, we have Group B. And what we've been doing is the golden ticket gets you to leave after Group A dismissal. And you can take if you have Group B kids within your class, you can just take them down to the cafeteria. Usually our dean of students or one of our principals will just watch them there for you. And you get to kind of, peace out a little bit earlier than you normally would. And it seems to really, really work, because if we ask you to do something and we say, hey, you have a potential of getting a golden ticket, and now that's of it, instead of saying leave early, we just call it the golden ticket, and they know, they start to just like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. We just had our Halloween dance, and we noticed over the past couple years our staff participation to come back to school on a Friday night, which I don't know why they wouldn't want to do that, but was starting to drop. And so this year I just asked them, like, hey, when I throw this, can I offer just a teacher raffle and pick 3 teachers and just offer them this golden ticket? And principal's like, of course, yeah, sure. And we had 5 more teachers come this year. And I was like, I'm gonna call that a win. So, it's working. We do, like, once we find those little things that they are also willing to work for, we get a lot more staff buy-in, so. Okay, so where does all this money come from? So obviously we try to find as many free things as we possibly can. A lot of our team rewards don't cost money. I can tell you kickball is the biggest, most popular team reward for 8th grade. We now currently have a rival, Wildcats versus Vikings, our 2 8th grade teams, kickball game, every team rewards. Because if we don't, we get yelled at because they have to keep fighting each other in this kickball game. My team lost yesterday, and I'm a little disappointed. And we had a coaches meeting yesterday with them, and they have to do better next month if I'm gonna take them out to play kickball. But that's we try to find those free things as much as possible. However, we do need money. So one thing we do to get things is our principal puts out a newsletter every week, and if there's something that we need items for, we just create an Amazon wish list, link it in there, and we just get stuff purchased for us, and it gets sent right to our school. And it's great. I mean, it's like magic. I put together this list of things I want, and they come to me, and it's wonderful. Sometimes if it's a little pricey, we might not necessarily get it, but when I ask for bags of candy, when I ask for little trinkets, it gets purchased and it gets sent in, which is awesome. We do hold different types of fundraisers. So we do have our annual Fall Fest, which is like a Mayfair, but in November, so we call it Fall Fest. Little things that we, like little activities, people buy raffle tickets, and they pay and they play these little tiny games. And that's one way that we earn money in the fall. We also learned that from the great heat wave kickball game of 2023, we learned that we could also sell popsicles or other refreshments, and the kids will buy them. Now, I mean, it's like a quarter. They bring a quarter, they get a popsicle, and because all of the materials we ask for are donated, it's a complete profit for us. So it's usually like a couple $100 in our bank account when we do those things. When we have our turkey trot, we're going to be selling hot chocolate because it gets cold, and they like hot chocolate. We also do little starter packs. So if as a 6th grader, you can buy a drawstring bag, a t-shirt, a gym locker, and a few other things to start you off for middle school. And then we price it so that it's not too much money, but it is a little bit of a profit for us, especially if some of the things that we sell in it are donated. We have a Penny Wars competition where homerooms battle out to bring in the most amount of money, and we just ask for change. And then again, that's all profit. And then any rewards for the staff. So our hands are tied. If PBIS raises money, that money has to go to kids. So then we were like, we want to incentivize staff. So how do we incentivize staff? Because we can't buy anything for staff. And that's where the PTO comes in. We actually have a very strong PTO right now. And they're constantly like, hey, what do you need? Hey, what do you need? Hey, what do you need? This month, we said we want to always try to reward our staff once a month. So we said, hey, we want to do candy in their mailboxes for October, like a little trick or treat for them. And they're like, well, actually, we were going to buy you all these gigantic gourmet cookies and put those in your mailboxes. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that works too. So, and they're just, they're constantly trying to offer ways to help us out. So, and of course they'll give us money for students. They are donating all the hot chocolate for us so that we can sell it at the turkey trot. So that's another resource. If your school does have a PTO, if they're going strong, you can always reach out to them and say, this is what we want to do. Can you help us out? And so we're very lucky in that aspect. And I think that's it that we have. Oh, okay. We can't let, yes. We have to show you something now. But yeah, so like I said, we do as much as we can to, I will get you guys at, to really include our students and to, get them excited for the school year or excited for certain events. And actually, Will, do you want to talk about the history of this before I show them?
Sure. So this is LMS State of Mind. So this is like based off of Jay-Z and whoever else sang the song. But I got this from my high school. I was like Mr. High School. I loved my high school when I was back in school. And they kind of did this. It was probably like 15 years ago. But so I was like, I've always had it in my mind, like we should do that, something like that. So without any further ado, this is, you could copy this, just change the lyrics to your song.
Yeah, started out at Northside, Lingelstown and Mountain View, CD high bound, but I'm LMS forever. I'm the new middle schooler, and since I made it here, I can make it anywhere. Yeah, they love me everywhere. Right up here with the bright stars, feed me to the lions, hanging with the 6th grade till the day ends. Took it upstairs with the Rams and Knights. Take me to the gym, volleyball in my black tights. Cruising to 1100, bright yellow bus, y'all. Some school lunch is looking kinda sus, y'all. Me, I'm out at 3Bs, headed to the farm show. Friends at Coons Park, I might have to go, yo. Get air, jumping to the sky. Slapping hands, Friday, fisting fives. Hear me on the Mass Singer, see me at Rams Unite. Tell by my attitude that I'm most definitely from. Hey! No cap. Porter. Musical forever. Gotta see James and his giant peach. Singers gon' sing. This staff really knows how to teach. Talent show, Rams TV, and dodgeball. Ain't no time to slow down. Do-si-do dancing at the hoedown. Autism speaks, Eagles make the goal world go round. PJ Day, Jersey Day, Camo Day, now I can't stop. Rolling in on Friday, gotta have that bop. 800 students out there about to make it. The wide world is yours, gotta go ahead and take it. Whole school investing in their futures. B-ball team full of shooters. Trey Yanks and Micah Parsons got it made. Was dreaming of this day since I was in 1st grade. Go to the Ram Shack, see me on Rams TV. Long live Landisfield, I'm from the big green machine, that's
Slay.
It's your hometown where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do.
these Rams are good.
These halls will make you feel
Yeah.
big lights will inspire you. Cheer it
Burns.
for L-Town.
Lights is blinding, don't get caught grinding. Life is a game, just know where sidelines is. Play hard, play smart, don't play it too casually. Shoot for your dreams, stay true to your family. Caught up in the in crowd, championing Crocs in style. The world can be cold, open doors with your smile. Friendship center for a swim. You want swagger, we are filled up to the brim. Gifted students took a bus trip. Casual Friday, anthem problems, all these Rams have that drip. A-team coming in hot, specials really do a lot. Came here for school, graduated to Central Dauphin High. Wildcats and Vikings, it's hard to say goodbye. Ram days got you feeling like a champion. Group A, Group B, it don't matter in the end.
L-Town.
Hey!
It's your hometown where dreams are made of.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can't do. Now you're from L-Town.
The bright lights, baby.
These halls will make you feel
So if you're ever like out of like running a party and you need someone to rap and be entertainment, you can hire me, just email me. But that just kind of encompasses a lot of things extra that we do. SEL, pep rallies, all those things you saw up there kind of encompasses, at least last year, a lot of things that go on in our school. So
So that wraps it up. Like I said, we were just really hoping to kind of share with you guys how, we can try to make this work in a middle school setting. And hopefully you were able to take away one or two things that you might want to try at your school, or, confirm that what you're doing is the right thing. I mean, it's, like I said, it's a challenge with our age group, but it is possible to make it work. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask about any of our logistics or anything. No? All right. Thank you guys for coming very much.